Every one of us wanted to control space and time at some point, so why not start doing it in fencing? My name is Maarten and let me introduce you to the world of tempo. A tempo is a moment of stillness or a moment of motion. Most importantly for us, it is a possible opportunity to strike our opponent. Energy equals mass times velocity squared. Thus, the faster we move or the more of our body we commit, the more energy and time we will need to recover from this movement. One may move fast, but if the movement is countered, there will be no chance to avoid getting hit. Luckily, we have a large variety of techniques at our disposal that use different parts of our body. George Silver distinguished time of the hand, body and foot or feet. Time of the hand or moving our weapon is the smallest commitment and therefore should always precede our body and feet. Since you cannot take back a step that easily, you should never start stepping first. This would be a false time. We can use tempo to truly understand effective offense and defense. To attack, you need to have a plan, close the distance, execute your attack and recover. In defense, you need to identify what is happening first, then choose a proper defense and execute that technique. To know what is happening, every bit of information counts, which is why most fencing traditions value sword points highly. Other masters, on the other hand, recommended to never bind, so your opponent cannot use that information. I don't know, but maybe they had a more offensive mindset. For a start, you need to know when there's no opportunity to attack. If your opponent is waiting and ready, your movements are too large, or don't cover you easily, then you better abstain and live to fight another day. The first opportunity to strike your opponent is called Primo Tempo. If you're close enough to attack before he even gets a chance to react, then you should not hesitate. Of course, this hardly depends on your opponent, so be aware and always cover yourself while attacking. Another opportunity for Primo Tempo arises as your opponent steps into Misura Laga, the white measure. While he's still taking a large or sloppy step, don't hesitate and lunge for a strike or thrust. This especially works well if your opponent doesn't know what a dangerous place one step out of attacking range might be. The most common opportunity to strike is in Dui Tempi. After you parry or avoid the attack of your opponent, there's a time frame where he has to recover. For a perfect Dui Tempi, always try to break your opponent's rhythm with your parries and immediately riposte to regain the initiative. The Italian masters valued this kind of fencing a lot. It shows, after an artful defense, you can muster up the courage to attack yourself. The last two tempi to strike are very similar. Mezzo tempo occurs while your opponent prepares an attack or moves between positions, while Contra tempo happens right in the middle of his attack. The most important thing is, however, that you need to move in a smaller, more direct and therefore faster way, because you remember, you always need to have time to react first. To cite the German masters, and this very art is honestly real and true, and it is about moving straight and simple, to the nearest target, taking the most direct way. With this in mind, you will always move within your opponent's reaction time and therefore never give him a tempo to attack you. This concludes my introduction to tempi. In the next video, I will show you specific examples to abuse Primo Tempo opportunities and to approach your opponent. So, see you then.
day.